Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Daytona 200, brought to you by SNEAD Competition Designs in the Xfinity Series. I'm Timothy Hammond, alongside Alan. Alan, thanks for coming along. I'm really excited about tonight's race.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anytime you're at Daytona or any of these super speedways, it's always a good show, and I'm sure we'll see that today.
Yeah, and this is a new league that we have been that we're broadcasting for this season, and I want to make sure I say it correctly. This is the North American Sim Racing Association Season 2, starting here at the World Center of Racing Daytona International Raceway. And Alan, what are you looking forward to here tonight?
Well, first of all, we were talking about it before the race, stages, actual stage racing in this league. So that's certainly exciting to see. And yeah, I mean, just being a part of a new league, or excuse me, not a new league, but a new season. And, it's just going to be interesting to see who gets off to a strong start here for this race.
Now, we do have qualifying underway. I'm seeing who's on the track at the moment. And it looks like the number 11 of Dustin Scruggs is running out there. Looks like we have about 10 minutes of qualifying before we take the green flag. We'll just see how he does here. It looks, you see, a lot of guys will run that high line, get those tires warmed up so they can turn that fast lap on that second time.
Yeah, and it definitely makes a difference. I mean, you see that in real life, and you see the exact same thing in iRacing, and it definitely does help that second lap. You're basically sacrificing your first lap to get a little bit more speed going into your second one, but it also puts a little bit of pressure on you. You can't tap the wall at all, or your lap is discredited. And so, you kind of have to keep your mind on that, especially when you're going onto the backstretch. As you see, he's choosing to stay at the very bottom. Now, one thing that iRacing has introduced into the sim is, I can't remember the name that they have for it, but basically the closer you get to the wall, the more it has an impact on the car. Anthony Alfredo made a video on YouTube about it. And basically, the air that your car pushes to the wall kind of creates a cushion effect. And so, if you're daring enough to go up to the wall, you can actually make a little bit of a difference. The car will turn a little bit better, but obviously, you're also risking hitting the wall, which, again, in qualifying, will discredit your lap. So, definitely interesting times in the iRacing world with that new addition.
I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot that we are on a totally different build as Dustin's going to slow down from his pace. We'll see who else we've got out here. Right now, Dustin is leading qualifying, running a 50.671 right now. So we're going to go and find Tony Smith, who is in second at the moment. Oh, he's actually stopping. Tyler Peacock. See if we can't. There we go. Driving that number 81. He's making his. Oh, he's slowing down too. This is a long qualifying session. You typically people get about 5 minutes, so these guys are taking advantage of the time they do have. Looks like Robert Richards just wrecked. I don't mean to.
Yeah, I think he had just finished his qualifying run.
Yeah.
Did record a 50.68, which is just 1/100th behind the current leader, Dustin Scruggs. But so far, Scruggs has been able to hold on to that top spot.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like anybody's out at the moment. Actually, we got the 13 of Ben out there. Running that nice Ford Mustang. Running that high line that we discussed. And it will be interesting to see. This will be the first race that that I have broadcast with that new kind of, I don't know if you want to call it a wall aero package or what you want to call it. It just looks like the 21 of Clinton Castleberry just took the pole position.
By a pretty good margin, too, about 6/100ths of a second. So
Yeah.
nice lap by him. And, yeah, you're starting to see that second lap come in and take shape.
Yeah, ran a 50.615.
And he's actually no, I think he's just doing a third practice lap because he does look like he has completed 2 laps. So
And some an interesting strategy that we may see here tonight is some people decide not to qualify. They'd rather start in the back, possibly miss the big one. There are no fast repairs tonight. I do want to point that out. So racing, guys are going to be a little bit more conservative, hopefully, in that aspect as the night goes on. But as the laps dwindle down, so will the patience of drivers, as we could say.
Yeah, definitely. And, that's something that these guys are going to have to keep on the back of their minds. The fact that, if they're thinking about making a move, if they're thinking about going from the inside to the outside or vice versa, they've got to kind of make a judgment call. Is it worth the risk? Because all it takes is one little mistake to not only end your day, but to end a lot of people behind you as well. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how patient these guys can be, because as the race goes on, you're going to see more and more aggressive moves. It's a long race. This should be an exciting one.
Yes, and I think tonight is 80 laps here at Daytona International Raceway, or Speedway. I always tend to mess those things up. And since this is a new season for us, we are going to do our best. I want to give a huge shout out to Clinton SNEAD, who get this broadcast together for us tonight, and really appreciate him giving us pronunciation of everybody's names. And we're going to do our best to say your name correctly. We do fumble sometimes, though.
Yeah. You mentioned Ben, but I noticed that you did not even bother with his last name.
I didn't have the pronunciation of, so I apologize.
Again, thank you to the league for the pronunciation guide. I'm actually a sports information director in real life for a university, and so I'm used to putting these pronunciation guides together for our teams. But it's nice to have one in the world of sim racing. And yeah, Ben Gudnoyinski, I believe, even though we have the pronunciation sheet, I'm still not 100% sure that's the right way to say it, but I believe that's about as close as we're going to be able to get. So hopefully that's correct.
And we will get better as the season goes on. Looks like I want to bring up the... I was looking for the schedule. There we go. So it looks like we started Daytona like a normal season. And then... Oh, it's not going to load for me. I love it. I love technology.
First race technical issues. It's
yes.
all good.
Okay, so here we go. So we're going to be starting at Daytona tonight. 80 laps. I believe that's going to be broke down into 20-20-40. So stage 1 is going to be 20 laps, stage 2 is 20 laps, and then stage 3 is your 40 laps, which I believe that third stage is where we're going to see some green flag pit stops. They are running 75% on a tank of gas. So that will change when pit stops need to be made. Typically in a race you'd have 100%, but tonight they're going with 75, and they say that they believe that's what they're going to go with the rest of the season. So we have about a minute here left in qualifying. Looks like about 12 drivers decided to run, and we got the 48 on the track right now. Dylan, let me see if I can get this right. Dylan Folovich driving that number 48 Ford, as he is going really fast to the inside wall.
Yeah, I don't think that's quite what he was going for there, but to each his own. I guess he did qualify 7th, so he did complete a lap prior to. Actually, you know what? I think he was done. I think he was finished with his run. And so Falovich does record 7th place with a 50.760.
And it looks like Rhett Tucker is on the track right now. His last lap, he ran a 50.785. Got him in 8th place right now. He's got about 5 seconds left. Will he have enough time to finish this lap? I'm not sure. Oh, pulled him right out.
So close.
So these guys are going to get ready to grid. Want to take a short break and want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Buttkicker. And
You
we will
okay
be
there?
yeah, we will be right back after these messages.
I got a chance to get one of those butt kickers a couple months ago. Before then, I had never even heard of it, but I was kind of looking up some random things during this COVID season. Kind of decided to get really into iRacing. Got myself a rig, a direct drive wheel, some club sport pedals, and thought, why not, why not look into this butt kicker? And man, it was one of the best decisions I've made in sim racing. It adds so much to the immersion. I have the Gamer 2 just attached to the bottom of my chair, and it's crazy. It feels like it really does help you feel like you're in an actual car. It just gives you extra force feedback, and it's just awesome. It's one of those things you don't really think about it, but once you try it, you miss it when you go without it. So if you haven't checked out those butt kickers, definitely do so. It's a funny name. When you first look at it, it looks kind of funny too, but man, it really is an awesome experience when you add it to your rig.
I have never heard of it until they brought this commercial to me, and then I said it to you, and you immediately were like, "Yeah, I've got one of those." So something I didn't know about, and didn't know that I needed to feel the full effect of iRacing, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I mean it's incredible because you can feel the gears change. You can feel whenever you hit the wall, you can feel that. You can cut the strength of it up and down. You can have it to where the room next door can't hear you, or you can have it shaking pretty much the whole entire house. I mean, it's all up to you. So it's an awesome experience if you haven't tried it before.
I'm gonna have to. So we are the guys have gridded. It looks like we're gonna be going green this time by. Let's take a quick jump through the field. I don't think. Are you able to do that, Alan? Because mine did not update where people are, so I don't want to mess that up.
Yeah, I believe mine's correct. So starting on the pole, we've got number 21 Clinton Castleberry. Starting on the outside of the front row, we've got number 4 Justin Lumpkin. Starting third, 22 Derek Mullins. Starting fourth, Dustin Scruggs. Starting fifth, number 12 Robert Richards. Sixth is 28 Brandon Bullock. Starting seventh is the number 48 of Dylan Falovich. Starting eighth is the 99 car of Rhett Tucker. Starting ninth is Tony Smith in the 16, and starting 10th is the 5 car of Max Steck. Try to keep going real quick. Starting 11th, the 88 car of Torrey Thompson. 12th, the 81 car of Taylor Peacock. 13 is the car number 13, Ben Gnoyinski. Starting 4th is the 094 of Greg Wellen. Starting 15th is the 27 car of Gabriel Ellison, as I believe we're about to come to the green here.
Yeah, so we're taking the green flag. Racing is underway. 80 laps. First, we're going to have a 20-lap stint, and then we'll have a caution, and then get right back into racing another 20 laps. I anticipate these guys to kind of take it easy here, but we'll see. So far, it looks like Clinton is going to lead that bottom lane with the number 22 car of Derek Mullins. But that outside lane has a good push. It looks like a little bit of 3 wide back there.
Yeah. And one good thing about a league race versus, the official NIS series is that a lot of these guys kind of have a feel for how the others race. So I think you're going to see a lot of trustworthiness throughout this race, something that you don't get in the official series. For those of you watching who have run those official series, you don't really know who's around you. You don't know what they're going to do. And I think these guys are a little more familiar with each other. Some probably not. Some are probably a little bit new to the league. But yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of give and take because if not, then like we said earlier, there's no fast repairs, and you're going to see these guys out early if they're not willing to give and take.
And it looks like the 11, I thought he was going to go around the 1 car, or the 4 car, but they've now, that top lane has diminished, and now we've got the 11 go to the inside of the 4. 99 is following him, and it looks like we've pretty much got single file from there back.
Yeah, the 4 of Justin Lumpkin kind of taking it easy there. Almost tapped the wall, but I think he's just kind of choosing to lay back for now, try to take it easy. As we are seeing the inside line is the preferred one so far, but some cars still hanging out there on the outside, so we'll see if they can get a line and get some momentum going.
Yeah, it looks like those are some really fast cars on that outside lane. A couple of Fords right there with the 99 and the 11. It looks such a beautiful shot seeing these cars come down the backstretch like that.
Yeah, and actually the same team is leading both lines. Rhett Tucker Racing. You see those with very, very identical paint schemes leading both lines. So that's a good start for that team this season.
Yeah, and I'm wondering when they get up there, are they both going to try to just, get in front of him, and then those three can just kind of dominate. Maybe they can just dominate both lanes, and it could be part of their strategy to kind of keep everybody else in check. Because if they're going to want to get around them, they're going to have to go 3 wide.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're seeing the outside carried a lot of momentum onto the backstretch. The 11's probably going to be able to clear him in just a lap or 2. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see whether he just kind of pulls into the inside lane in front of his teammate, or if he chooses to stay out there and try to kind of dominate both lines, like you said.
And we're going to ride on board with the number 4 of Justin Lumpkin, so we could kind of get a general idea of what the driver sees at these super speedways. It is very difficult to see anything in front of you when you're drafting with somebody else. When you're right up on that bumper, the driver almost can't really see what's going to happen in front of the other drivers. So there's a lot of checking up, and looks like the 4 wanted to go to the outside there, but he decided against it. Got to make sure he hits that bumper square, because a lot of problems can happen there as well.
Yeah, when you're drafting like this, you really are at the mercy of the cars in front of you. If you're a car in the lead, what you're trying to do is you're trying to run as steady of a lap as you possibly can. You're trying not to jerk the wheel. You're trying not to veer up and down the track. You're just trying to keep as straight of a line as possible for the guys behind you. Because again, all it takes is one little mistake, just going into the turn a little late, as you saw right there. You saw it right there. Let's see, it's the 22 of, I believe, excuse me, it's the car in front of him, Dustin Scruggs, I believe. No, it is Castleberry. It's Castleberry right behind him. He went into the turn, didn't quite see, reacted a little bit later than he wanted to, and almost caused a big pile up there. So very lucky early on in this one.
Lap 6 of 80. I know even it doesn't matter what lap you're on, you kind of get tense throughout the whole race.
Yeah, you work up a good sweat when you're at a super speedway, that's for sure.
Because you're nervous about what's going on in front of you, what the guy inside you is doing, the guy outside of you. But like you said, these league races, there's a lot more trust. These guys know each other. They've been practicing this off season, and they bring their stuff out here to Daytona to make it happen and put on a show for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a million things going through your mind, especially at a super speedway. Not only are you wondering, you're thinking about the cars around you. You're thinking about your position. You're thinking about where you need to be, what line you need to be. You're looking at the momentum for each line. You're also thinking about the fuel mileage. At what point do you start having to worry about other cars coming in? You don't want to be by yourself going down pit road. That is a recipe for disaster for you, because you come out and you lose the draft. And so, yeah, there's just so many things that go on during one of these super speedway races, and it really just keeps you tense the entire time. There's really no break, no mental break at all, even during a caution lap.
And it looks like the 2 car is going to go underneath the Nope. He's trying to get back up in line. I don't know if he's got enough room. He was trying to go into the number 5. The 5 car's kind of been running just a little bit wider line than the 2 car. And I think the 2 car was trying to see that as an opportunity to kind of get up there and get around him. But he's decided to fall back in line and stay where he is at the time being.
Yeah, and something else that you have to think about during this race, how hot your car is. These cars can overheat. If you stay behind another car for too long, you can heat up the water and the oil temperature, and before you know it, your engine blows. So, you know, even when you're right behind somebody, if they're running a consistent line, you can't stay right behind them for too long. You have to kind of pull off to the side, let your car get some air into it to cool that motor down. And so that's just one more thing to think about.
I don't know if you guys can hear it. Like right now, we're riding on board with Torrey Thompson. He's not really running full throttle. You kind of can hear him lifting a little bit. Kind of, you know, a lot of guys will run back here and save fuel in this manner. And kind of, he's in a position where he can kind of see everyone in front of him. So if something does happen, his reaction time is going to be much faster than the other guys that are on each other's bumpers.
Yeah, and you know, the problem with that, though, is where the wreck happens. If
Yes.
it happens on the back stretch or even on the straightaways on the front stretch, you can be up there and be okay. But if a wreck happens during the turns, those cars just sail right up the track and will go right into him based on where he is currently. So you just never truly know. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it is a smart idea to save that fuel because mistakes can happen on pit road. You never know when that caution's going to come out. You never know when, you know, somebody else makes a mistake going onto pit road, and even if a caution doesn't come out, they could potentially get into the cars that do pit with them. And so, you know, you want to have that option available. As boy, we've got those top 3 on the outside really starting to pile up there. We've got a long 6-car, even 7-car lane out there on the outside. They might be able to clear this to clear the inside lane.
And it looks like they finally shuffled the 5 car back because the number 2 car of Casey Herring really wanted to go. Looks like 28 went to the apron. Not sure what happened there with Brandon Bullock. Looks like he just kind of chilling at the. Actually, looks like he may have a tire down or something here. He's trying to save it. He's trying to get off the track.
Yeah, I thought he was trying to just kind of take it easy, but it looks to me like, no, he does go back onto the track. I'm not sure exactly what happened there.
Yeah, we saw that. I saw it in the corner of the screen as it was happening. It almost looked like he had a cut tire. I don't see if I can't we'll ride on board with him real quick, see if we hear anything different. Sounds pretty normal. I say it sounds pretty normal, like like I fully know how it's supposed to sound. But heading back up to the front, looks like Dustin Scruggs is still your leader as we approach lap 13 as they come out of 4 here.
Yeah, and that Rhett Tucker Racing currently does have the top 3 spots, so a good start for that team as they continue to show a very strong start to this race.
And that number 2 car he is pushing the heck out of that 99 car. Casey Herring on Team Dangerous. Looks like his teammate is Justin Lumpkin, who right now is sitting. Looks like he's on that bottom lane right now. Whoa! What is happening back there? That was a little squirrely.
Yeah, and these guys are starting to get settled, and that's when careless mistakes can happen. I don't know if he just got loose there or was trying to avoid something or what, but yeah, definitely disaster avoided there for now.
That was Gabriel Ellison in that number 27. Good save, though. You know, that could have been very bad for the 9 car or even himself if that carried on. As we're lap 14, these guys are going to be coming to lap 20. We'll be getting a competition caution and resetting the field. Well, not resetting the field, just bringing everybody back together. Right now, it looks like we have one driver 3 laps down. And that's Robert Richards. He was pretty fast in qualifying. He could have some strategy that we don't know about. Or he could just be cruising and waiting for the big one. As it looks like Tucker.
I don't think being 3 laps down is a part of anybody's strategy.
Well,
you never know.
He could have been caught speeding on pit road. It looks like
I'm wondering if he maybe
Tucker,
had. Oh, you know what? He did have a connection issue.
You're right.
Get disconnected at one point.
I did see that. You're right. Oh, the 5 car's in the middle back there, 3 wide as the 27 goes to the outside. Clears him. Takes that position. Just 2 laps ago, that 27 car was all over the place. And now he is up here with this top pack trying to gain some points. And also, I do want to add, these stage wins go towards points for the playoffs. So everything counts. And I believe they only get stage points if you win the stage. I will double check that, but I do believe that is how the point system works. And I think that makes racing more exciting as they wind down the laps on these stages.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely always makes things more interesting, especially at the end where, it's kind of winner take all in that situation. You do want to get those top 5 finishes, top 10s, but at some point, just like we see in real life, in real life NASCAR, you got to win at some point to have a chance to for that championship. And so, it's definitely makes it more exciting for the viewer, but also, it makes it a lot more risky at the end for these guys.
And I want to give a shout out to everybody in the that's watching us for the first time. We want to thank you for joining us for tonight's race. We will be back here every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, same time, to bring you this series. I want to give a shout out to Sherry Stone. Looks like she's cheering on Tucker in the number 99. And April Post is also rooting for Tucker. So Tucker's got quite a crowd in the chat tonight. And Tucker's in that number 99 leading that outside lane right now with that 2 car just doing a fantastic job of getting him up there and getting him around the leader.
Yeah, he got just a little bit too far to the outside that time, but he'll carry the momentum coming onto the backstretch as you see right there. And like you said, the 2 doing a very nice job pushing him, but not too much. He's laying off of him in the turns, not bumping him, not causing anything bad, as we do have a lap car that these guys are going to have to try to avoid. And that is always easier said than done. Oof, very close call there.
And it is difficult. It is hard to be that lapped car trying to get out of the way in these situations.
It really is. There's times, everybody on here has been in that situation before, and it is so scary at super speedways because, first of all, you try to ask where the leader wants to go. Sometimes they say to stay up high, sometimes they say to stay down low, and but just because the leader wants you there doesn't mean that the other cars want you there, and so it's always kind of tough to stay out of everybody's way, especially when you're going to the outside. When you stay up there, it's easy to hit the wall and then kind of bounce back down. And so there's just, even when you're trying to get out of the way, sometimes you end up causing more damage than doing more harm than good.
We are on lap 20 as we're going to finish this stage. Is Tucker going to bring this home, or is the number 11 of Dustin Scruggs going to bring it home? Or could the 2 just pop out to the outside and maybe the 48 or 22 will go with him? We will see as they come down the backstretch heading into turn 3.
I tell you what, the 2 has a shot here.
Oh!
He's going for it.
He blocks him. What? Wow. That was impressive by everybody.
I cannot believe there was not a major crash right there.
The 2's going to go to the outside here. Woo! Is he going to go back to the inside? He does go back to the inside. He's there at the quarter panel. Is he going to get him at the line? It's the 2.
I believe he did. He did. He got him.
I did. Yes. Casey Herring wins that first stage. Wow.
What a move.
That was impressive. Start. That was really impressive. I'm going to see if we can't get him up here to talk about that. Let's see. Casey. There we go. I've got him. Hey, Casey, it's Tim and Alan up in the booth. What a move there to get that win in that first stage. What was going through your mind when he kind of made that block in turn 3?
I was trying not to junk the whole field. That was what's going through my mind, but I knew they were trying to control, so I was like, it was my shot to clear off the bottom, and luckily my teammate gave me enough of a push.
Well, your car looks great out there. Was watching you on that outside lane. Your car's doing great pushing, and it can get to the front and make that pass. Hopefully see you in victory lane tonight.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll be there.
All right, good luck. That was Casey Herring, the winner of stage 1 here tonight at Daytona. Fantastic into that stage.
Absolutely. That's about as good of a start to a league season as you can hope for. I had no idea he was going to go for that, but man, what a show that was. Like he said, cannot believe that did not basically wreck the entire field, because that easily could have happened. A couple more inches between those, or if those cars were a couple of inches closer to one another, that's exactly what would have happened. Even if they didn't make contact, netcode would have taken over. So very, very fortunate there, but what a show.
You're using the devil words over here, netcode. We don't want to hear them. I haven't heard that word in a while. But, yeah, you're completely right. And it looks like most of them, if not all of them, are going to make their pit stops here. The number 12 of Robert Richards is going to stay out. He may be doing that to hopefully gain a lap back, because when he was in the draft, he was doing great. He was staying with the leaders. So we'll see what these guys do here on pit road. Oh, that's a great shot.
And
looks like Scruggs missed his pit stop.
Yep, overshot his pit stall. This is where the race can be made or ruined for you. You just never know what can happen. I mean, a guy can come in and dominate this race, but man, braking on time to hit your pit stall here is very, very difficult.
So it looks like we have a new leader. Torrey Smith stayed, he got out of pits faster than anybody else. Not sure. Just trying to see if we're able to see what kind of pit stop he took, but it does not show me. It
looks like, I don't think he stopped.
Oh.
I think he drove right through pit lane. I wonder if he missed his stall.
That's very possible. But if that is the case, Clinton got out first over Rhett Tucker and Casey Herring. So we will have to see where the 16 goes, if he's going to come back in, or maybe he just did some fuel.
No, I just went back and looked at it for myself. He completely missed pit road. He went on to pit road, but completely missed his stall. So I think you will see him come back down here. Unless he just, maybe when he was on pit road, he decided, nope, here he comes.
Yeah, he's coming in. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you're going to make that mistake, you want to do it early. You want to get it over with. You want to learn from it. And I'm sure that he has learned from that mistake there.
Let's see. Pace car lights off. Yes, it is. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And special shout out to a sponsor, Buttkicker. And welcome back, everybody. We want to thank you for joining us. We're about to start Stage 2 here tonight in this Daytona 200 presented by SNEAD. Oh, I totally lost my notes. Presented by SNEAD Competition Design. They're sponsoring this Xfinity Series race. Brought to you by, gosh, I need to write my notes better, Alan.
Well, anyway, it will be Rhett Tucker Racing in the top 1 and 2 to start this green flag run. We are beginning Stage 2 right now.
What a great start for Clinton on that inside lane. And he's got one of, so far what we've seen, one of the best pushers pushing him. But the question is, does that 2-car like the inside lane at all? Or is he going to jump to that outside lane if he can get cleared?
And the outside lane did not get off to a good restart there. Not a lot of help up in the front. I think you're going to see the 2 come up. And, oh, there they go.
Oh, no. That is not what you want to see. Oh, and the 16. And back to the... lot of cars are damaged in this one.
Yeah, that is... Yep, that is going to ruin a lot of races right there.
Oof. And I know that Casey has got to feel bad. Let's go back and take a look at that. Let me find it really quick. So we're going to use... Oh, wrong button. And we are... I'm looking for it right now. We're going to ride... Looks like we're going to start with the 2-car. Let's see. So we're going to see they're coming out of turn 2 here. And you can see the 2 is got to run, so he tries to go to the outside. Oh, that was a terrible camera angle.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, you know, again, you know, we saw an aggressive move at the end of the first stage, and we were seeing a bit of an aggressive move this time. Now, you know, Clinton Castleberry, who was leading, he kind of chose to come up with them just a little bit. He didn't commit to going to the outside, but it was just enough to get the 2 cars making contact, and yeah, just a mess from there. A lot of races, a lot of damaged cars from that, and that's very unfortunate way to start the season.
There's so many damaged cars in this. Let's go back and see if we can't ride on board with somebody here. I think we're going to ride on board with Ben. As we're coming out of... You see here, you can see the entire field as they're coming out of turn 2. And he's not even on the gas all the way. You kind of can hear it. Okay, he sees it all happen. Did he get lucky? Oh, looks like somebody behind him clipped him. Oh, man. And see, that is the hard part about this, is checking up and the people behind you not able to check up in time to see what's going on.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, there's an art to it. You know, it's not as simple as just slamming on the brake when you see a wreck in front of you. You have to keep in mind the people behind you, because there's no guarantee that they can see the wreck. And so it's one of those things, you know, there's no for sure way to get through there. You just have to get on your brake, but at the same time, you have to kind of stay off of it a little bit, you know, if that makes any sense. And so you just never know. You just never know. It's always a gamble, and there's definitely a lot of luck involved when you're trying to get through one of those crashes.
So it looks like to me I'm going through the field here, trying to see. Looks like Dustin is the only one out of the team that was dominating that is left. And that number 11.
Yeah, it looks like the two of Casey Herring is coming back out, but without a front bumper. So that is definitely going to affect his aerodynamics. Probably has some engine damage as well. So I don't think he's going to have a whole lot of fun for the rest of this one.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But we are on lap 28 of 80, and anything can happen, and these guys could still possibly pull off a good finish. But it looks like a good portion of the field is missing right now. More people might have been involved than I thought.
Well, I think, yeah, a good number of them are currently either on pit road or catching up to the field. But yeah, this is the cars that have the speed to win was just about cut in half from that wreck. So definitely gonna see a smaller field battling for the lead for the rest of this one.
I think the number 27 of Gabriel is the last car that was not involved in that wreck, and he is sitting in 10th place. Did I say Gabriel? I'm going to say Gabriel.
Yep.
Sorry.
His car does look untouched, so I do believe he made it through that.
That 14 car of Chris Cinnamon. Oh, he has a lot of damage in the front and the back. I didn't realize that. So this is going to be an interesting play. Of looks like there's not many people left for teammate-wise as we go back green here. And that 21 is going to give the 22 a great push there, or 81, sorry. And now I think, typically you have that first big wreck and then everything kind of just calms down. So unfortunately, it looks like our first, sometimes our winner of the first stage is probably not going to win the race tonight, unfortunately. But he does get those points to carry into the playoffs, so that is a plus for him as he leaves Daytona.
And looks like the inside line once again for the second straight restart has gotten off to a nice start. Outside lane, just not getting a whole lot of momentum. Most of these guys choosing to stay on the inside. But look, here comes Rhett Tucker Racing again, trying to make a battle for that lead.
It's going to be difficult for him now. He doesn't have any teammates up there. Well, we have a lot of new names here in the top 10. We've got Derek Mullins in the 22, Taylor Peacock in the 81, Chris Cinnamon in the 14. That car, it looks beat up, but it's still going. And three wide for the lead right here. And Dustin is saying, I'm not having any of this, and just backs right off.
Yeah, another close call. That's really, there's really been 3 close calls. One of them did result in a wreck. The other 2 have been very, very close. But yeah, just some aggressive racing to start this one.
And now we're going to come to lap traffic as the 81 goes to the inside in front of the 22. I'm still really impressed that 14 car is staying with them right now. Because with that kind of front end damage, I expected there to be some sort of damage to the engine.
You never truly know with iRacing. It's a mystery sometimes what it considers to be engine damage, and then there's other times where you barely have a scratch on your car, but then you're a couple miles an hour slower, and so
right.
Yeah, it's always a gamble, and I'm wondering if once you do get all that damage repaired, the car's pretty forgiving. It does get a lot of speed back. There's a big difference between having all your damage repaired and having 15 or 20 seconds of damage, and so it definitely makes a difference as we are having a 3-wide battle for the lead now.
As the airplane is taking off,
Yeah, Derek Mullins actually just tapped the wall too, so he is voluntarily giving up the lead, it looks like. He is choosing to just kind of stay back right now.
And now Taylor Peacock is your leader with the 48 on the outside of Dylan Falovich, with Dustin Scruggs there, and Chris Cinnamon still in that 14 car, sitting in second on the inside lane. Second car back, I don't mean second place. But if he gets that 81 car up there, he could be taking that second place. As now that outside lane is getting very organized. Oh, little square. Oh! 14 and the 22 almost touch.
And that spread them out a little bit what's going to happen here? They haven't really committed to a line yet for the lead. A little bit of blocking as well, but boy, it is it's getting testy up here.
And it looks like that 14 is going to go to the outside now. Behind that 22, we'll see if he can get that outside lane going. And look at what I was talking about earlier. The number 12 car, he is 3 laps down, but no, he's 2 laps down. So he was originally 4 laps down. He's now 2 laps down. So like I said, his strategy may be playing out, even though it was an accident.
Yeah, well, I believe for the two the two cautions that we've had, I believe that he was the only one a lap down for both. So he was actually the lucky dog both times, and so that definitely paid off for him.
Yeah, so it looks like whenever we reach lap 40, looks like the lucky dog would go to the number 9 of Brady Leboeuf. I hope that I said that right. And that would keep him 2 laps down. So he would need another caution to happen for him to get back another lap. But it is possible. As we approach the number 5 car here. And it looks like the 81 of Taylor Peacock is off the pace. Not sure what happened, but he was just leading.
Yeah,
might be just taking it easy.
I do believe he is. I think he's taking it a little easy right there, because he was up here, saw these cars kind of moving around, some blocking, and I think he just decided, I saw what happened the first time. Right after the end of that first stage, I'm going to take it easy right now. He's still well within drafting distance, so not going to cost him a lot of time there.
And you don't have to worry about them getting too far away, because this stage is going to be ending here in about 4 laps. So he'll get to regroup and be back up with the pack, and then find his dancing partner, as we like to say at Daytona and Talladega, to get him to the end of the race and possibly push him to the win maybe. But right now I'm looking at the sheet. I don't... Oh! I saw it just out of the corner of my eye. Robert Richards just goes off the track. Not sure what happened. He's going to save it. He's going to keep it green, I believe. Yeah, what a save.
Yeah, I'm looking at the replay for myself now. Looks like, it was that dreaded net code, I'm telling you. The 14 of Chris Cinnamon in him got into it just a little bit there coming off of Ford. There was definitely a little bit of net code involved, and that's what happens.
That is unfortunate. We are on lap 37 of 80 as we are approaching the end of stage 2. My question is, are we going to see an exciting finish like we did for the first stage?
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same cars involved, but man, we saw a very aggressive move at the end of stage 1. We could see the same thing at the end of stage 2 here. These two still battling it out, and there's enough room at Daytona for another, for a third car in the turns, and so you never know what can happen.
A third car, as long as everyone holds their line.
Right. Much easier said than done. But it looks to me the 14 car is either trying to get his car some air, or he's trying to kind of test the waters to see if you know, if there's going to be enough room to create that third lane to go for the lead. Right now, he doesn't have enough behind him to get that, but you never know what can happen.
And I don't know, aerodynamically, I just don't see that car being able to get out there and make that pass, just because it's kind of going to be like a parachute with all that damage that we can see.
Yeah, and that's a good point. But, you know, I mean, it looks like he's able to keep up with him. So I don't know. I don't know. He might have enough there.
We're on lap 39. We're going to be coming around for lap 40 as they head down the backstretch. We'll be halfway through this race, as well as have our Stage 2 winner. And the 81's back up there. Just talked about Taylor Peacock a few laps ago. It dropped back, but now back up there in the mix, as well as 49 of Clinton SNEAD. We've not talked about him at all tonight. He's come out of nowhere. And Torrey Thompson, the 88, on that outside lane. We'll see who can make a move to possibly make something happen here as they approach a... Oh! F14 was very close to that car.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be interesting. The outside lane getting some momentum.
Oh, the 48 comes up the block.
A little bit of blocking.
Oh, but the 11's going to go to the inside with the 81 and the 4.
And by the way, there is no yellow line rule in iRacing. I don't believe that there's anything about it in this league's rule book either. So I do believe it is allowed. And trying to get that third lane going, can't quite get in there.
21 disappears.
Oh, no.
Where is he? Oh, boy. Oh, this is scary. Yellow flag came out, so did he maybe wreck, or did they... I still don't see him. Derek Mullins on that last corner just disappeared.
So I'm looking at the in-race chat. For some reason, he was removed from the server.
Oh.
I don't know what happened there.
I'm unsure. But your winner for Stage 2 is none other than Dustin Scruggs. Let's see if we can't get him in here for a quick interview. Let's see. I do not see him in Discord, so we will not do that. But I imagine he's happy. Nonetheless.
That was a strange ending.
Yes.
Strange
I'm
ending
not
to
sure what happened with Derek. I imagine...
Oh, I believe he was accidentally removed.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Ooh. And it happens a lot. You know, it's difficult to run a race.
That might not be the case. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, I can confirm it was unintentional. So just an unfortunate mistake there. I'm
unfortunate.
I'm sure Mullins is very happy right now.
Yeah, to say the least.
You got to feel for him. Just 1 second he's battling for the lead, and then all of a sudden he's gone.
And we are under caution. The end of Stage 2. Our winner, Dustin Scruggs, is in the pits a little bit longer than I expected. Maybe some optional damage, possibly? Or am I looking at the wrong person? I think I'm looking at the wrong person. Yes, I am. I was looking at his teammate sitting in pit road. I apologize for that. But we're going to step away real quick as we give a special shout out to Alan. Help me, my brain just stopped.
Are we giving the shout out to Buttkicker again?
There we go, Buttkicker. I almost called it something else.
How dare you forget their name?
We will get better. This is our first night, but we'll be right back after these messages. And welcome back here, guys. We're coming back from stage 2. Coming down for the final stage as the pace car dives off.
Green flag.
Right now, Dustin is in the lead as he brings it to the line with Taylor Peacock on the inside. 48 behind him of Dylan Falovich. And look at that. Involved in that huge wreck, number 13. He's up here fighting for the lead on lap 44 of 80.
Yeah, and you see that 11 car at the very front of Dustin Scruggs right back up there for the lead. He's really the lone ranger up there trying to represent Rhett Tucker Racing and doing a nice job of it.
And I also want to point out really quick, it looks like Rhett Tucker has 6 wins in trucks and Wheeling 3 cup wins. So these guys they race week in and week out with each other. And it looks like Tucker's was also their ARCA champ. So a lot of names in this field that have won some championships here with these guys. And once again, we want to give a special shout out to the North American Sim Racing Association. That's the NASRA for bringing us on for this broadcast. We're really excited for the season. And if tonight is any indication of how the whole season is going to go, we're up for some great racing because every track we go to, Alan, we have stage racing.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly makes things more exciting. I mean, I would say so far, based on what I've seen, this has been, this stage racing has been more excited than you see in a real life NASCAR race. So definitely cool to see some aggressive moves. But again, this first race of the season, you want to get off to a good start. Even if you don't win the race, it's good to have a reward, for racing well, and those stage points can certainly come in handy later.
And I also want to point out that next week we'll be back here same time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. We'll be going to Homestead, Miami. It's going to be the Vice City 125. Going to be 125 laps at Homestead. I think that's going to be a pretty interesting race.
Yeah, definitely. I've actually don't have much experience with Homestead. I actually had to buy it recently. The NIS series, which is the officially sanctioned NASCAR series that iRacing hosts for everybody each year. Really, to be honest with you, up until this COVID season kind of hit, I'd never done a full NASCAR season. I would do about half of it, then get kind of burned out. But with COVID going on, just not a whole lot more to do. And so, yeah, it was really one of the first times I had raced Homestead, and it's a fun track. You can race different lanes and make it work. And so it's definitely an interesting one.
Now you see the field is kind of single file at the moment. They've all decided, okay, we've got 40 laps in this last stint. We've got to make it to the end. Now, I do believe if we can keep this thing green, we're going to have to make green flag pit stops, and that is where mistakes can be made, spots can be gained, and spots can be lost easily on pit road, because if you come down that pit road too fast, you're coming back in to serve that penalty.
Oh, and that's just one of your worries. I mean, you can easily lock the tires up going onto pit road. You can spin. I mean, there's just so much wrong that can happen on your way onto pit road, and even while you're on pit road. You got to worry about speeding penalties, and it just, there's so many different things that can happen. And even before you get onto the apron to get to pit road, just checking up to start the slowdown process can end in disaster. And so there's just a lot of things, and hopefully these guys practice those green flag stops, because if not, it's pretty scary when you're not familiar with it.
Yeah, because it's all about communication when it comes down to that. With the guy behind you and the guy behind him and the guy behind him, you have got to make sure if you're the leader. I always hate being the leader when green flag pit stops come, because I don't want to be the one that gets rear-ended, you know?
Yeah, and it's one of those situations where it's actually tougher in iRacing than it is in real life. In real life, these guys can wave an arm up and outside the window or even just at the rear view mirror, and that tells the driver behind you, hey, I'm coming onto pit road, or hey, I have a problem. And so there's a lot of alertness in real life. In iRacing, you don't have that. You don't have a driver animation, putting their hand up or anything. So you just have to communicate with the other drivers through either voice chat or text chat and let them know, hey, I'm pitting this time.
You might be onto something, Alan. You might want to send that into iRacing for a hotkey to throw your hand out the window or something.
Well, so I've seen it mentioned before in the forums, and I think the biggest worry is that, or actually, I think that what's requested even more, and mostly as a joke, but is the option to give to flip the bird at somebody behind you.
That's pretty funny. Oh my gosh, I don't go in the forums much, so.
Yeah, the forums are pretty entertaining. Some of the feature suggestions that you see are very interesting. Most of them are serious, but then there's those where somebody goes on there and kind of makes a joke of things, and it's pretty funny.
Well, we are lap 51 of 80. Let's go ahead and take them through the field. Something we have not done yet tonight. It's kind of we've got a long green flag run, so we'll right now Dustin Scruggs, your second stage winner, sitting in first place right now with Dylan Falovich behind him. Taylor Peacock sitting in third place in that number 81. And then you've got Ben Janowski in the number 13 sitting in fourth. Torrey Thompson in fifth in that 88. Justin Lumpkin in the number 4 sitting in sixth. Gabriel Ellison sitting in seventh in that number 27. Mitch Ellison sitting in 8th in that number 55. Then you've got Clinton Snead in the number 49 sitting in 9th. Torrey Smith, who was in that accident, also missed his pit box, sitting in 10th right now on the lead lap. And number 14 of Chris Cinnamon with a lot of damage on the car, but he has been able to stay with that front pack, sitting in 11th place. And he is the last car on the lead lap. Now, I want to take you to the next guy sitting in 12th place, Robert Richardson. I'm sorry, I totally just made up his last name. He is now one lap down. So, like I said, things can turn around for him. Just needs one more caution, and he may get it. And then
and really, there's no competition. There's no threat of somebody taking that lucky dog spot from him. And so, yeah, he is definitely in good shape right there.
Coming to the pits? Oh, he is.
Well,
maybe.
never mind.
Well, he could be short pitting. He could be pitting now, and he's good for the rest of the race. This might not be a bad strategy, but it may bite him if we don't stay green.
Yeah, I'm wondering when he last came into pit, because it's possible that maybe he stayed out during the end of stage 2 and ran out of fuel. I'm not quite certain there. But yeah, that'll be definitely something to keep your eye on.
Somebody else came in behind him. Just trying to figure out who that was. Oh, it's Brandon Bullock who came in with him as well. He is 5 laps down, so he looks like he was pitting as well to make it to the end. But back to Robert Richards. He is sitting in 12th place. Next to him is Rhett Tucker, who is now going to be passing him for this position as he's coming out of 4 or out of 2, while Richards is coming down the backstretch. You see him right there. And then in 14th is the number 9 just in front of Tucker. He is 4 laps down. 15th we got Matt Steck in the number 5. 16th we have Brandon Bullock. 17th, our first stage winner, Casey Harrington in 17th, 8 laps down. And then in 18th, we have Clinton Castleberry, and that is going to round out. Well, we have Derek Mullins in 19th, but he was accidentally disconnected. So that is your through the field as we catch back up with the leaders. It looks like we have a battle up here since we left.
Yeah, they've been battling for a couple laps now, but yeah, I can't think that I just don't think that was a strategy move, because you never want to come down pit road by yourself, because usually you end up by yourself when you're exiting the pits, and when you have no draft, even if you make up some time when these guys come into pit, unless you catch them at the right place, you're still not going to have any draft. And so even if you end up in front of them, they're just going to blow right back past you. So I don't know. My guess is that he was about to run out of fuel. And actually, we do. Here come the green flag stops. The 88 of Torrey Thompson, who's in 5th currently, has just announced that he is going to be pitting right here.
So this is what we've been waiting for. And
Or not.
He's not going to come in. Maybe nobody was going with him, and he said, forget it, I'll stay out too.
Yeah, maybe. I thought he said coming down, but maybe he was referring to something else.
Oh, and the 81 and 48 almost touched there.
So yeah, it's definitely, these guys definitely have green flag stops in mind, as they are now on lap 57. And yeah, I mean, they're within that pit window. And so yeah, any lap now, we should start seeing these guys coming in. Now they could wait until they're truly out of fuel, but you know, it's just going to depend on these front couple of cars. When they pit, I think you're going to start to see everybody else pit.
Well, and I think one thing that's going to be different here, I think we're not going to see any pits until after lap 60, because that's another 20-lap stint from lap 40 to 60, and we know that they were able to make it those 20 laps. So I believe it's going to be sometime after that 20 lap, because then after that they definitely can make it the rest of the way.
And just heard, okay. So Torrey Thompson is announcing when he's going down to the inside lane. So that's what confused me earlier. Thought he was referring to coming down pit road, but he was just saying that he was coming down to the inside lane. So good communication there.
Yeah, it's something you don't see often in iRacing, and it's good when it does happen. As the leaders approach the 99 and 9, putting them another lap down.
Yeah, see, now with them being 2 laps down, even when these guys come into pit, they're still, if they're able to get to the lead lap, they're going to be at the tail end of it. So I don't think that was a strategy move. I think he had to come into pit from being out of fuel.
But there may be a caution.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
21 in the wall. Yeah, it looked like he tagged the wall a little bit. Scary when you're the leader passing the guy that's tagging the wall. So it looks like the 48's going to go to the outside with the 4, trying to get around the number 13.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see these guys so spread out right now. I really thought that as we get closer to the end that these guys were going to kind of bunch up together, but you know, it's possible that second group right there may be trying to create some momentum and easily be able to pass these front 2, as there you see they're thinking about the outside. There they go. So about to have another battle here.
And that 48's going to go to the outside as they catch lap traffic with the number 4 behind him. Everybody just hold their line, and we're good. It looks like he may clear the 11 car. He is going to lead this lap as the 4 car of Justin Lumpkin pushes him out front. Now the question is, will the 48 stay committed to that 4? Because this is the time of the race where you got to start finding your end partner. Who's going to help you get to the end of the race and possibly help you win?
Yeah, I remember not too long ago the thing in NASCAR was the tandem drafting from back in the day. And that was, it was amazing how iRacing was able to simulate that. I mean, it was basically the exact same thing that you saw on TV. And it was just, you could get right behind one car, but then that was it. There was no 3, one drafting the other. It was just little, 2 cars attached to each other. And that was basically it. That was all you could do. Everybody else would just kind of, you could get within a certain distance, but then no closer. And it just really, it was really interesting to be a part of. But it wasn't the best for entertainment purposes. It just wasn't very entertaining overall because of how spread out the cars were overall.
You see they've been catching quite a few lap traffic. And now, so this is where the danger zone officially is. Richardson is now, I believe, going to go 3 laps down. So I think this may be the nail in the coffin, for lack of a better term, for him to get back on that lead lap and be able to show something. But I thought he had a strong car, because when he does get with the lead pack, like right here, he does stick with them. So we will see how the rest of his night goes. But he is still sitting in 12th position as the 11 and 48 are still battling up here. And look, we've got more guys catching up. The 88, the 13, the 27, the 55, the 49, all right here together. And just in the back of the picture, you see the 16 and 14 trying to stick together. They're in great position if something were to happen to these leaders.
Yeah, I mean, the group is going to have to check up a little bit for them to re-enter the picture, but, you know, as we saw earlier before, you just never truly know. They're not going to have enough to stick with them. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to need something to happen. But, again, with these green flag pit stops coming up, like we said, anything can happen.
Yeah, and Sherry, I just saw your comment. Unfortunately, the ticker doesn't let me make it any bigger. This is all it gives me. But I will work on that for next race so you can have a bigger ticker so you can see everything. Oh, and the 48, this kind of drops back. Could they be setting up for the pits?
Yeah, and that's that car by himself on the outside is that lapped car, and so not going to be much of a factor, not really that big of a deal. He wasn't left out to dry. I think he's just going to be able to let everybody else through now. But when that car is out there like that, it can potentially motivate a couple of these guys to go to the outside lane to try to get something going. And doesn't look like anybody's gone for it yet, but that could change in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, because look, he is really strong on that outside lane. Like I said, when he was with the leaders, he was sticking with them. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does. Oh, I thought the 88 might have stayed up in front of him to get a push.
Yeah, I think the 88's kind of torn in between what he wants to do. He wants to go to the outside to try to get something going, but I think he's afraid that if he gives up that inside and nobody goes up there with him, then, yeah, he's going to lose a lot of positions, as the 5th place car, the 4 car of Justin Lumpkin did just announce that he's pitting, and here we go. Just 2 came down, though, so I think that's going to hurt them when they're coming back out.
But they have been working well together. So
yeah,
that could
but still, they're going to have to catch up with a third or 4th car in order to have enough speed to stick with those leaders. Now, when they do come around to lap them, they should be able to hang on to their draft, but you just never know. That is definitely a gamble when only 2 cars come into pit. Now, they will, I'm watching them coming off the pit road right now. They are bumper to bumper, and so they will be able to draft and not have to have one catch up to the other. So that's a good thing, but still, it's going to be it's going to be tough for them to stick with the draft.
And right now, the 1181 and the 12. 12 is a 3 laps down, 2 laps down. And, 2 laps down. He could, this is going to be, oh, now he's 3 laps down. Sorry, my interval situation is messing up a lot. Our last car on the lead lap is a 16 of Torrey Smith. So right now, our leaders have not pitted, but the 2 that did pit, Justin Lumpkin and the 48 of Dylan Falovich. Let's go take a look at them. They are nose to tail, as Alan said as I came off pit road. They are about 30 seconds away from the leader. So, leader is just behind them.
Yeah. You said 30 seconds. I don't think you meant to say that, but yeah, they're within about I would say about 10 seconds.
Oh well,
from-
I just want you to know my ticker's a big liar. The ticker that I'm looking at, because it tells me they're going like 308 miles an hour. So I know that's not
there
true
you go,
too.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, they did do a nice job of getting back up to speed, so they have plenty of room right now. Oh, we've got a wreck. We've got a crash.
Oh, the 14. Where's okay? Here we go. Was it a single car?
Yeah, it looks like the 55, the 13, and the 27 were involved in that. Kind of got things started there, and they were 6th, 5th, and 4th at the time, I believe. Or no, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
All right,
So that's a big deal there.
Go back and take a look at that. Let's see here. All right, so this is coming off of going into turn 2 and 3, or yeah, 1 and 2. 55 on the inside of the 88. 13 gets loose, tries to save it. 27 tries to save it. 55 gets in the wall, and the 88's just right there. And SNEAD just sneaks right through. He thread the needle. Wow. Fantastic driving there. See, I saw the 14 spin, so I thought that might have been what happened. But let's go back. I want to take another look. We're going to ride on board with SNEAD here. If I can't get cockpit and take. All right, we're going to ride on board here. As we see, he's all the way pedal to the metal. You can hear it. Lets off a little bit. Goes to the inside of the 88. You see the 13 get loose, and he lets off. You hear that? Lets off. 55 hits, 88. Oh, man. That's fantastic driving right there.
Yeah, and that was Torrey Thompson who ended up just in front of him. Got a feel for him, just wrong place, wrong time, and he really nailed that inside wall.
That is unfortunate. As we really want to thank you guys for joining us. We're on lap 70 of 80 here at the Daytona 200 here with the North American Sim Racing Association. That's the NASRA. Want to thank them for bringing us on board. Want to thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming around. And we invite you back here every week, 8 o'clock sharp. Start qualifying. May even start the stream a little bit early so y'all can see a little bit of practice, see how guys are doing and whatnot. But just be sure to come back, tell your friends, tell your family, come watch some great racing from these guys, because so far we've had 2 different winners in the first 2 segments and great finish to the first one. I mean, I don't know that we're ever going to have a segment end that way again, but really huge thank you to everybody watching, and we'll give you a little picture of me. Forgot to put the webcam up tonight. We want to make improvements to the stream, and hopefully we'll have Alan's up here soon. But really, we've had some fantastic racing tonight, and I think that it's set up for, it's going to be an amazing ending, Alan, if I don't say so myself. It's anybody's race, and I'm really excited to see what these last 10 laps are going to bring for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you hate that those that, were competing for that first stage win aren't up here to compete for the win. But still, it's going to be quite a show here at the end as we start to come to a close. Just, 19 laps left, I believe.
Yeah, and now I do want to ask you, Alan,
I'm sorry, 9. I meant to
yeah,
say
9 laps left. So now we have 9 laps left. Who's going to be your pick for the end of this race?
Ooh, that is a good question. I think I got to go with Dustin Scruggs. He has been up there quite a bit. He's had a very strong run. Yeah, he doesn't have his teammates up there with him, but he has led quite a bit of this race, and so I'm going to go with him.
I'm going to go with Taylor Peacock. he has been up front quite a few times tonight, and I think that he has what it takes to win this race. If he can get around Dustin Scruggs, he could possibly win this thing tonight. So I'm going to go with the 81 here in the final stages of this race. And I also want to point out as well, the series, also their truck series, is starting Friday night at Daytona as well. You can catch that over on, I don't remember what stream. I'm gonna have next week. I have so many notes, y'all aren't gonna know what to do with yourself, because I want to get everything out there for you guys. But we're coming out of turn 4, coming back to the green, and tighten up those seatbelts one more time, boys. And the green flag is back out. 8 laps to go here at Daytona. And the 4 and the 81 get a great start. But the 13 may hurt that line because he was not right there. But they're going to clear that outside lane while the 48 drops in behind that 81. And we're 3 wide back here. SNEAD to the outside of Scruggs. I want to watch that because that's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question there's going to be an outside lane. Actually, battle for the lead right now, as it looks like I believe it's the 81 of Taylor Peacock, your driver, going out
no
there for
help,
the lead.
Though.
Doesn't quite have the momentum going into turn 3, and we'll see if my driver Scruggs tries to put the move on him, maybe go 3 wide. But I don't think he'll do that yet. But I think once we get down to 5 to go and below. Oh, you're going to see these cars all over the place.
You almost gave a plug there for 5 and below. That was close.
There you go.
But here we are. Oh, the 48 gets tight. Comes up. Oh, no! They touch. Oh,
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no. That was... There it goes. That's all she wrote. Hard racing, really nobody's fault. Looks like the 14, 13, 81 are involved. My pick. Oh, I thought Taylor Peacock had that tonight. Really had a great run, and he was showing it right there. But let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. Oh, I know it's going to be rough because I saw a car just go straight down and right back up.
And I'm a little ahead of you on the replay, but yeah, unfortunately, it does look like Taylor Peacock was the one that kind of instigated that. Just got a little bit too low there. I'm not sure if he thought he was clear or exactly what happened.
Here we have it. 13. It looks like the 13 and 81 come up at the same time almost, and just the 16 just barely gets through that. That was kind of unbelievable.
Yeah, and the 11 of Dustin Scruggs, the guy that I picked, barely made it through. He was within a couple of feet from being involved with that, but very fortunate for him that he was able to keep that car clean.
We're going to ride the chase cam with him here. See, the 81's in front of him.
Yeah, I really do think you're going to be able to see a hood come up just behind his back bumper.
Oh.
Yep, right there. That's about 2 feet, I would say, from being involved there. So very fortunate for Dustin Scruggs. We'll see if he can capitalize off of that.
And let's take one more look at it from the aerial shot. And I'm with you. It looks like the 81 did come down more than the 13 came up, because right here, 81 just comes down, unfortunately. And look at 49. Again, barely misses that wreck. And now Clinton, I believe, is sitting in 4th place. Yes, 4th place. As we have drivers coming to the pits and going across the start-finish line. Doesn't look like the first 4 decided to go to the pits, but Tony Smith. Have I been saying Tori all night? No, there's a Tori Thompson. Okay.
I think you have been saying
Have
Tori
I?
Smith. It's okay.
Man. My screen, whenever I click on somebody, it turns blue, so I'm apparently blind.
Again, still getting familiar with these names, and that'll improve as the season goes on.
So Friday night, it's the Truck Series is going to be on Racecraft TV. I want to make sure you go follow them on YouTube and watch that truck race, because I'm going to tell you, tonight is exciting. Trucks are just as exciting, if not more exciting, here at Daytona, because you have those high back ends on those trucks. It is very difficult to see around. If you think it's hard to see out of the front of these cars, try trucks. But I'm telling you, trucks are so much fun here on iRacing. And it's going to be one heck of a show if it's any indication of what tonight has brought us.
Yeah, so it looks like, I believe the pace car lights are still on. Yes, they are. So I believe we're going to restart with it, assuming it starts on lap 77. Yeah, so that'll be 1 lap short, or 1 lap longer than a true green-white checker. So that will definitely make things interesting. Enough time for these cars to get up to speed and really try to get that momentum going with whatever lane they decide to go with. Now, after that, should it turn into a true green-white checkered, that's when all bets are off. You're going to see guys try to create their own lane. That's where crazy things happen. But even with 4 to go, that will still really be able to get 2, maybe even 3 wide as we come to a close here.
Yeah, and I was trying to see if there was green-white checkers on. Because that would make things interesting. So it looks like Chris Cinnamon so far has made the most pit stops tonight at 7. I know his car has been very banged up, but he is still hanging on. He's sitting there in 7th place in that AC Delco number 14 Chevy Camaro. Gives us the old school vibes of Dale Earnhardt Jr. In the Xfinity series. Oh, we do have 2 green-white checkers. Thank you so much for that, Michael. So we do have 2 chances for some wild endings here. As we're coming out of 4. Coming to these final 5 laps to go. And it's not over until they take that white flag. Well, technically it's not over until they take the checkered, but at a green-white checkered, once that white flag comes out, it will be a wrap after that. Here we go. Great restart by Justin. You want to make sure you got a... Oh, the 48 dives down there really quick to get in front of Dustin. This is going to be a wild finish. I just know.
Yeah, they're going to start off single file. Here comes Scruggs, though, trying to get that momentum on the outside lane. He's there for 2nd place.
And right behind him,
momentum.
He has Clinton SNEAD, who we've not talked a lot about. He's right there, along with the 27 of Gabriel Ellison. Somebody in the chat just said, watch Ellison now. So this could be where Ellison shines. He's just waiting for that time, and it's right now. And it looks like he has a teammate right in front of him. So this will be an interesting to see who's going to go where and who's going to help who. And look at the 14 up there, now in 6th position, trying to stay with those guys.
And you know who's really kind of dictating how this finish is going to go is, believe it or not, the 14 of Chris Cinnamon back there. He's a lapped car, and yet he's kind of picking and choosing which side to go with. And so he kind of, even though he's a little bit further back there, and I'm talking about the blue car back there, as actually he is starting to get a little bit of a distance now, but the line that he goes with, he is actually having a slight impact with. He's giving them just a little bit of extra draft from back there. It's not going to last too much longer, but that's just a little bit of extra speed. And the inside lane is one that could really use it right now, because 3 cars versus 2, that 3-car pack is going to win it most of the time.
Now, what I could see happening here, and this is not going to work in Clinton's favor if this happens the way I think it may. If that 11 can clear that bottom lane, he's going to go down there and catch with them, and that's going to make it harder for Clinton and Gabriel to take that outside. Oh, and they're going to go to that down to the inside and leave him all by himself because they know.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be out there for long. I think you're about to see one of those inside cars go up with him. Maybe not, though. No, they are leaving him out to dry. Wow.
And that is a smart move by the number 49 and the 27 because they know if they can't get around him, they're not going to win this race. We're coming to the white flag, I believe.
I tell you what, though, Scruggs is not out of it. He gets some good side draft there coming off of turn 4. He's got momentum. This is not over.
The final lap right here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Lumpkin, Falovich, SNEAD, Scruggs, Ellison. Who is going to take this to the checkered flag? This is going to be a great finish. I just know it.
You're going to see somebody go to the outside right here. Scruggs getting that momentum. They kind of got bunched up on the inside. He still has a shot at this.
To me, it looked like Clinton. Oh, is he going to go? This is, wow. I'm not sure where anybody's going at this point. 48, is he going to go to the outside? Is he going to stay with the 4? The 11 goes to the outside. 49 to the outside. 49 to the inside. Oh, he tries to get below the. Oh, when he turns to 48, it's going to be Lumpkin at the line. Fantastic finish. I'm not even sure how they finished. Looks like Justin Lumpkin is your winner with Dustin Scruggs in second. Dylan Falovich in third. Clinton SNEAD, so close to that third place finish, comes home in fourth. And I really want to go back and watch that finish because that was awesome. Let me go back because that was just as good as a finish as the first. We're going to go with Gabriel in the 27. And we're going to ride on board for this one. And you can see they start going up and down, inside, outside. And he's catching a huge draft off of these guys. He's going to try to push SNEAD, but then they just start collecting each other, and that's all she wrote. Wow. We'll go back and take another look.
These guys were just talking about it in the chat. And Gabriel Ellison especially was asking, did iRacing add side draft? Because he was just as confused about Scruggs' ability to stick with them as we were. And I don't blame him one bit. That was an unbelievable performance by Dustin Scruggs. And I promise you, I'm not just saying that because I chose him to win the race, but just an amazing finish. But yeah, Scruggs, his ability to stay up there by himself, yet still compete for the win, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was amazing. And here you see your winner, Justin Lumpkin, sitting at the start-finish line, tearing it up. Oh, not yet. He might have already torn it up.
Yeah, I believe he did while we were watching the replay there.
Oh, my bad. Well, I will fix that because I bet it was fantastic. Because I do love to see them do their victory laps. Oh, yeah, there we go. So Lumpkin is your winner. Let's see if we can't get third place finisher Dylan in here. Okay, here we go. Hey, Dylan, it's Tim and Alan up in the booth. What a fantastic race tonight, and what a great finish for you.
Yeah, it was fun for sure. It was wild. Surprised we got through a couple of those wrecks that we did.
Yeah, I mean, what was your strategy coming into Daytona? First race of the season. I know everybody wants to finish well and kind of just start the season off right. What was your strategy coming into tonight?
Honestly, I wanted to just ride in the back and relax for the first couple bit, feel it out. But when we got started, the way things worked out a little bit, we were able to get to the front. It's like, well, once you get up front, you got to keep it. So just got up there, went to ride, and hope to not die.
Well, you did a great job staying out of trouble all night.
Yeah, I saw a couple of them go by my mirror. Surprised I didn't get hooked once or twice.
Now, next week we're heading off into Homestead. What are you what are you going to do different for Homestead than you did here? Because Homestead is kind of a mile and a half, and but it does have some good banking at that track.
Try to get up front too, but this time I'm gonna try to push nobody that much. If I got a hole, got to run, you gotta take it. Man, that track, I wish you could run up to the wall as much as you can. I would love that, but I mean, I still love that track. It's a great track for me.
Well, great. We expect to see you near the front next weekend. Before you go, you got a shout out to anybody?
Yeah, I want to shout out actually Justin Lumpkin for this beautiful, beautiful paint with a Darren Nailgun Auto Repair, and shout out Team Dangerous for sticking together. We all got positives. Got a stage win and a race win, and everyone finished good, man. Can't be much worse than that.
Awesome. Well, fantastic finish tonight. Congratulations on your third place, and we'll see you next week at Homestead.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Wow. So, you know, like we always say at Daytona and Talladega, trying to stay out of trouble, Alan, is the key for, both of these places. But let's go ahead and bring up your race winner pick. You picked Scruggs, and what a fantastic race that you had. I really thought I was going to pick you to win the race, but then Alan picked you, and I was like, you know what? I'll have to go with somebody else. But awesome job. You almost was able to get up there and get that win.
It was tough being up there without any partners. SNEAD and Gabriel just kind of bailed on me on that outside lane, and so I just tried to side draft the best I could, and kind of pushed my way on the inside, got some momentum, and kept pushing my way up to the front, and finished a strong second. I'm pretty happy with that.
Now you had, go ahead, Alan.
I was gonna say, Dustin, heard Gabriel Ellison in particular legitimately confused about how you were able to stick with them by yourself on that top lane. Were you as confused as we were? Were you kind of surprised that you were able to stick with them and still be up there potentially going for the win?
Man, I feel like the side draft's a real thing. I know it's kind of controversial if it even works in iRacing or not, but my experience with it is damn right it works. When you're next to somebody, so
yeah, there's that. What we just saw was as much proof as you can ask for that side drafting is a thing in iRacing. So definitely a good job of proving that side drafting exists, because I don't see how there's any way you could have stayed up there without it.
Yeah, we'll chalk that one up as one of those conspiracy theories that are going around.
That's great. Well, awesome second place finish. Next week we head into Homestead. What is that a good track for you?
Yeah, any mile and a half tracks, those are kind of my sweet spot. I'm not a huge fan of super speedways, and I'm definitely awful in the short tracks. But Miami and Charlotte, those kind of races, some of my favorites. So hopefully it'll be a good showing there as well.
Well, awesome job tonight, second place. You want to give a shout out to anybody?
Yeah, this is actually the first week I opened up a new company, Prosper Engineering. Been doing it on the side for a couple of years. Went full time January 1st, so it's a good win, or a good second place at least, for Prosper Engineering, my main sponsor. Mountain Lake Estates, good Airbnb there in Georgia, and then Malware Bytes is also. Got to thank my teammates Rhett and Clint for helping me through that after they got wrecked out, and got to thank Case Herring as well. So.
Well, congratulations tonight, and we will see you next week at Homestead.
All right. Thanks, sir.
All right. Well, you all can discuss that conspiracy theory as fact or fiction.
Yeah, I've seen it enough in races to feel that there is, I don't believe that it's as what am I trying to say? As relevant in iRacing as it is in real life. I don't think there's as much of an effect, but I definitely believe that there is at least a small effect that side drafting can give you.
All right, well, it's time to talk to our winner. And our winner tonight, Justin Lumpkin, brings home that number 4 to victory lane. Justin, take us through kind of like that last restart and just to the end of the race.
Man, to be honest, I had my teammate there, Dylan, right beside me, and we had planned it out. I was going to jump it a little bit just so he could get down and get behind me. We knew if we could get pushing, we could pull away for a second, but we know they'd come up on us. So we just kind of kept it on the bottom, kept it floored, and just kind of kept it straight and seen what we could do.
Well, I mean, fantastic job. There was a couple guys who had a run there at the end. You know, I know that it's nerve-wracking you almost don't want to be in the lead on the last lap. But when you have a teammate behind you, it kind of makes you feel a little bit better, and you kind of relaxed, but not really.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be honest. I honestly hate super speedways. I mean, they're just pedal to the floor, but it's just so nerve-wracking, and one bad move by somebody can end your race just two laps into the race.
Yeah, and I find it funny. Usually the people who win super speedways are the ones who really don't care for them. So I find that interesting.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping to see how our pit strategy was going to work. I know we made the call to go in at 65, and then that caution come out, so it put us up front. So it worked out in the end.
You know what? I did forget about that. I forgot you guys had pitted early. Yeah, I totally forgot about it. After the crash happened, it left my mind. But great job tonight, bringing it home, bringing the trophy home, moving on to Homestead next week. How do you feel about Homestead?
I really like Homestead. I ran in the Truck Series with NASRA last year and brought it home second. I actually had the pole, so I'm kind of excited to get there.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we look forward to next week. Anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
Yeah, all the guys at Team Dangerous, Tony, Casey, Dylan, they're right there with me. Darren's Nail Gun Repair is sponsoring us for some races this year. Zero X Designs is my design company. I do paint schemes and all that. NASRA, Clinton SNEAD, Brady LaBeouf, Michael McKinnon, them guys for putting us on. And you guys here at 10-4 Broadcasting, y'all did a great job.
Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Homestead. Justin, congratulations tonight.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, there you have it, Alan.
What a way to start this season. Great new league we've picked up, and this was a pleasure to broadcast. It really was. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, I really can't wait to see how these guys are going to do on 1.5 mile short tracks. We have a couple of short tracks. We do have 2 tracks that are road courses that we're going to be dealing with. So that's going to set us up later on in the season, and it's just going to be really exciting. These guys, they respect each other so much on the racetrack. The racing was fantastic. Nobody was pushing, shoving. Everybody gave each other plenty of room, and I'm just really excited to see what the rest of the season is going to bring for us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we weren't certain how this was going to go. Now, I had a feeling, looking at how organized this league truly is, that this was going to be a solid one. And that did not disappoint. You never know when, one of these seasons gets started. It could just be caution after caution after caution. And luckily that wasn't the case. These guys, you could tell that a lot of them had raced around each other, before. And so they were definitely kind of familiar with each other, how aggressive they were going to be. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't peaches and cream. There was some disagreements during the race, but overall, I thought it was very well, handled very well, and just very entertaining.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see how next week's going to go, because I personally like Homestead, and it's a lot of fun to watch. But do you got anything else for tonight, Alan?
Not really. Just good to get going again. We had, we were talking about it before the race. We had taken close to a month off with Christmas and New Year's and just everything in between. So it's good to be back, and this was a fun one.
Yeah, well, I want to give a special shout out to Buttkicker for sponsoring the North American Sim Racing Association. Want to thank NASRA for bringing us on board. From everybody here at 10-4 Broadcasting, we look forward to seeing you next week, and we'll see you back here next week, 8 o'clock sharp, right here on our channel. Have a great night, everybody.